What's up, guys? This is KYKS, and today we're looking at cameras. So cameras are so interesting in a way that they imitate the real cameras in the physical world. So basically, this is the spiritual. Let me come back to the lesson. So let's begin. So I've already created my composition. It's called camera, and I've also created 3 text layers: 1, 2, and 3. The one you're looking at. So how to create a camera? You can either come to your timeline, right click, go to new and choose camera, or you can go to your menu, layer, new, and camera. So that's what we're going to be using. So this is the dialog that you will see when you're creating a camera. This is the name of the camera. You can change it according to your preference. Type, we shall be using a 1-node camera. A 2-node camera is when you want to focus on one object, on one particular thing among many things. Right now we want to focus on all. That's why we're going to use a 1-node camera. The preset is the size of the lenses. We are going to go with the 50 because we're going to go with the 50. So if you know cameras and know how to use cameras, or it's according to how you want to choose which lens or whatever. So we're going to go with the 50. The rest we shall not be looking at them right now. This is not my last video. Please, this is not my last video. I want to teach step by step, so I do not want to confuse my learners. So for now, you're going to skip this, come slowly, go to OK, and we continue. So we have already created a camera. It's called camera 1. So these layers that we have created, the 1, 2, and 3, they are 2D layers. Please, if you haven't watched my 3D tutorial, it's the previous tutorial actually, please learn it so that I do not confuse you. If you learn it, it will be simpler for you. It will be simple for you to use these cameras. So please watch my previous video. So since these ones are 2D and cameras cannot work on 2D, they work on 3D layers, we have to transform these layers into 3D. So in order for us to transform, like I said in the previous session, you come to the cube down and click, and when these cubes appear on all the 3 or on the layer you're editing, means they're being transformed into 3D. So now let's go to the camera. Like in the real world, I can stand in one position and take my picture at different angles. So we have to move this camera. Here would not affect or would not add effects, would not transform position, the layers. We only do the editing on the camera. So we have to move this camera. The tool that helps us to move this camera is when you go to your tool menu. This camera tool helps us to move our camera at different angles. So when I click and long press to bring for me different options, and all these options have C on it. So in order for us to go through these options, you have to click C on your keyboard, letter C on your keyboard, and as you keep looking at my composition, at my icon or my cursor, if I keep clicking C, it keeps on changing and transforming to the different tool. And also when you look at this tool section here on our camera tool, when I keep clicking C, it keeps going through these options. So you can long press and bring for your options you choose, or you can click CC and pass through them. So the unified camera tool is used for moving around, performs or even these functions of the orbit and track. When we select it and we come to our camera and our composition, we can move around the way we want. So that's the unified camera tool. It helps us move around. Also, this orbit camera tool performs the same function. Then we have the track XY camera tool. This one tracks the X and Y axis. X and Y axis. We looked at them in the 3D previous version tutorial. So as you can see, this is the X axis, this is the X axis, and this is the Y axis. Y axis up and down, X axis is from left to right. So that's the X axis. We also have what we call the track Z axis, track Z camera tool. This one helps us to move the camera inside and outside. Right now I'm moving the camera inside, outside, as it's moving my content inside. Going up, it moves the content closer. To explain this better, because I want you to understand it better, so I'm going to use 2 views, but we shall be looking at views later. So on your composition, on this section here, we have the active camera, what we are looking at right now. 1 view. I want to select 2 views. I want to see it dimensionally. This is where we shall be looking at views separately on this one. So I've selected 2 views for now. I want to use it to explain. This is the active section, what the camera is looking at. This one here is the active section, what the camera is looking at. And this is the top section. This top section is like you looking at the composition and the camera both from the top. For example, when you are on a building and you're looking down, right now we are looking at the camera and the composition. So here to explain more, this line here you can see is 1, this one is 2, this one is 3. We are looking at them from the top, and this is our camera. Let me reduce it. Let me reduce our angle so that we can look at it better. So this is the camera and this is its view. This triangle here is its view. That's what we are looking at. It's having the view of all the 3 that are inside its view. So what the camera is looking at is this one, the active camera, but here we are looking at it from the top. So these views, we shall look at them in their own section. But what I wanted to say is the track Z2, if I go up, you can see that our camera here on this section keeps moving, and the active is you can see that the 2 is inside and the others are coming outside. That's why we are not seeing them. Here we are concentrating on on 2 only. If I pull it like this behind, you can see that its concentration keeps on reducing as they are going inside. So the camera here is moving in front and is moving backwards. That is the Z or Z axis. So let's go back to our one view. So I've explained something. Please practice, be practicing. That's the way you are going to understand. I do not want to put too much in one tutorial. I want you to understand like you didn't know nothing and now you're knowing everything. So we're going to do some small animation by position using the position attribute to understand it better. So you click P on your keyboard, and the position here, it has 3 values. It has 3 values. It has the x-axis. So in our composition, the camera keeps moving on the x-axis. It has the y-axis, moves up and down. Also has the z-axis, the one we are from looking at, outside and inside. So we can use this. We can use this to create some simple animation. Let me put it in the center. Let me use this. Let me use this tool here to bring it in the center. So we can use this position to create some simple animation. For example, I can say from where my current time indicator is, I set my keyframe. Let me set this is my camera. I set my keyframe, it has created it, and after some few frames, 20 frames, I want my camera to move along the x-axis, show 2 only. Then after some time, I want my camera to show only 3 along the x-axis. You can use rotation, you can use zooming in, you can use scaling in, most of the things. So right now let's preview our animation to see what's happening. So it's trying to render. So as you can see, it has rendered. It's going to repeat our animation. As you can see, it's the camera is moving, the other things are not moving. See it better, let's bring our second view. Our second view brings us this. Let's expand it, and let me move the current time indicator. Keep seeing my camera here. You see that the camera's view keeps on shifting along the letters. The camera view keeps on shifting along the letters we have created. So that is what happens. I think this one will help you for starters, and if you keep practicing and watching my videos, you will understand it better. Hope this one helps you, because my next step I'll be looking at other things. We are still looking at cameras. I want to explain them so that we can understand them better. So please like my videos, follow me, share, do everything. See ya.